All right, let me just ask all of you, how low do you think the prime rate will go?
I think there's a strong possibility it's going to drop as low as 6.5%.
I can't see it going as low as 6.5.
I've got to agree with Tracy. I think the government's got a lot of pressure on it to lower it.
All right.
Thigh-Master Forum will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you the following episode of Almost Live. It's Almost Live with me, Pat Cashman, Tracy Conway, Bob Nelson, Bill Stainton, Nancy Guppy, Steve Wilson, and Ed Wyatt, and starring John Keister.
How come you call this show Almost Live?
Well, it's just a title we came up with.
But is it live or not?
Well,
either you're pregnant or you're not.
I'm not.
Are you sure?
Look, the show is taped in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
You see it as it happens. So even though it's technically on tape,
Right.
it represents something that largely occurs live.
Sure.
So in effect, it's almost live.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Almost.
Either it makes sense or it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Good, then it's settled.
I guess.
Fine.
Almost.
And now, here he is.
John.
Keister.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello. Welcome to... Oh, no. And... No. Oh. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I need that reassurance. Thank you very much. I really do. I need that positive reassurance because I'm under a lot of stress. I mean, it's this time of year. You know, the middle of the holiday season has always been a very stressful time for me. It goes back to when I was a kid. This is the time of year that my great aunt Mildred would always visit, and she'd always want to give me one of those big wet mustache kisses of hers. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I used to always try to hide in the closet, but when I'd get in there, Dad was already in there, crouching behind the coats, which is sad. It's not much easier today because now I've got 3 sons, 3 little boys. It's always stressful when you take 3 small boys to see Santa Claus. Do any of you know what it's like to see Santa cry? It's so sad. All the other kids in line, they see Santa crying, figure I've done something to him, so they turn on me. You know, the next thing I know, I've got 400 5-year-olds kicking me in the ankle. So, it's no wonder that I've lost my hair. You know, it's because, it's because of all this stress. And a question that I'm often asked goes, is hair loss due to environmental factors, or is it caused by heredity? And if you're going bald, you don't really care. You just want to kick someone's butt. So, I have to say, I lost my hair in stages that were helped along by certain stressful incidents in my life. And, well, let me show you what I mean. For example, now, look at this. Here's my hair. That's my hairline, all right? Now, okay, here's my hairline about 20 years ago. Then a few things happened. For example, my college roommate converted to Scientology. Lost a little bit there, you might see. Then I lost a little bit more when my old girlfriends got together, started comparing notes. Yeah. Well, a little bit of a loss here the day there was the surprise drug test at work. Major loss here when my wife flipped off the Gypsy Joker biker gang on the highway. And sort of the final follicles when I thought the undercover policewoman looked lonely and would like a date. So... That's the history of my hair. And hair is very important here in the Northwest, especially among Seattle's hugely popular rock scene. You know, bands like Soundgarden, Forced Entry, Love Battery, Alice in Chains. They're not too worried about hair loss now, but that doesn't mean that they don't have problems, especially around this time of year. Take a look.
In the rock candy bar liked Christmas a lot, but the grunge
grunge who lived in the apartment next door did not. Some say his head was not screwed on right. Some said his Doc Martens were too tight. Some say it was because he got kicked out of the band right before they got the record contract. The rest of the guys are millionaires, but he still has to work at Tower Video. And now it was Christmas time again this year. And they'll be hanging their beer cans on the tree, he said with a sneer. And then the rockers will sit down to their feast. They'll eat Doritos and Cheetos, Mad Dog and cheap beer. And then they do the thing the grunge most feared, the thing that kept his ears ringing. Every rocker in Rock Candy would start singing.
Taboo-dore, taboo-dore, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Hey! Taboo-dore, taboo-dore, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day.
He had to stop Christmas from coming, but how? And the grunge got an idea. An awful idea. The grunge got a terrible, grungy idea. I know just what to do. The grunge laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled and clucked. What a great grungy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look like a grungy Saint Nick. The rockers had passed out from drinking that crap and settled down to an afternoon nap. Then in came the grunge without making a peep to steal all their presents while they were asleep. He got Doc Martens and flannel and animal beer and all the beefaroni. Oh, the rockers would shed tears, and away ran the grunge, taking everything from them. The rockers would find out no Christmas was coming. And when they woke up, he knew what they'd do. Every rocker in Rock Candy would cry, boo-hoo-hoo. Then the grunge put his hand to his ear. Now that is a sound I simply must hear. But the sound wasn't sad. He couldn't believe his ears. Christmas had come without ribbons or bows or beers. Then the grunge had a thought. Maybe Christmas was more. Maybe Christmas didn't come from the liquor store. So he picked up his bag of toys so handy, and the grunge headed back, all the way back to Rock Candy.
Taboo-dore, taboo-dore, welcome
Merry Christmas, everyone! And the rockers say the grunge's heart grew 3 sizes that day. Also, his spleen ruptured and he had multiple contusions over both eyes. But most important, he learned to love Christmas. Heartwarming, wasn't it? Well, we've got a great show, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
And now, here are some suggestions for your late-night viewing pleasure. At 12:30, HBO presents Boxing. 2 guys you've never heard of beating the crap out of each other. At 1 o'clock on ABC, McGarrett and Dano trail a dangerous distance runner on Hawaii 10K. And at 2 o'clock, USA's Science Fiction Theater presents The Michael Jackson Story. Stay up late and watch more TV.
So did it take you a long time to find me the perfect present?
Strike one!
It's not wrapped.
Yeah, it is.
Strike two!
A bottle of aspirin?
Yeah, the big size. You know, 'cause all those headaches you get.
Strike three, you're out of there!
Sound familiar? It doesn't have to any longer, because now you can avoid pissing her off by simply picking up the phone and calling Save Your Sorry Butt shopping service. At Save Your Sorry Butt, we know you give crummy last-minute presents. You're a guy. You can't help it. So we offer a variety of gifts for you to choose from in 3 fail-safe categories. 1, A made-it-yourself item that might be ugly, but is chock full of tender, loving care. 2, a wisp of sexy lingerie that's way too small, and she'll love you for it. Or 3, an endearing personal item from your past that she can't believe you'd part with. We then wrap it up just like a guy would and deliver it to your door in 30 minutes or less. At Save Your Sorry Butt, we guarantee that she'll be happy.
You're giving me the actual Bible that stopped a bullet and saved your life in the Persian Gulf?
Uh-huh.
I love it!
And you'll be alive. So call Save Your Sorry Butt shopping service today. You can trust us to save your sorry butt.
If music be the food of love, play on. Shakespeare. Beautiful words, aren't they? But did you know that Shakespeare also said, "What's the matter? Haven't you been getting any lately?" Now, perhaps it's not as creative as most of his writing, but we believe it's important that mundane thoughts be remembered too. And that's why we've compiled this new handy reference, Bartlett's book of less than memorable quotations. For example, most people know that Elizabeth Barrett Browning said, "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways." Our Browning quote is, "Then why don't you get your whore to make you dinner?" Or William Butler Yeats, who wrote, "Oh, heart, if she would but turn her head," but who also once stammered, "Hold on, your sleeve is caught in my zipper." And Benjamin Franklin, who left us with so many uplifting thoughts, the least of them being, "And then the bitch went crazy on me." Less than memorable quotations also has special chapters for different kinds of below average sayings. There's the somewhat less than famous last words section, which includes Bob Marley's quote, "Hey man, who's been smoking my stash?" And Custer's forgotten line, "What large group of Indians?" And then there's a chapter entirely devoted to the first draft versions of what later became famous quotations. For example, did you know that Charles Dickens' "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times" started out as, "Lots of stuff had gone down recently, some crappy, some not so crappy." And Christopher Marlowe wrote, "Come live with me and be my love." But who would have recognized the original? With the way you're putting on the pounds, you ain't gonna do any better than me. And we all know the phrase, "Mighty Casey has struck out," by Ernest Lawrence Thayer, which barely looks recognizable as, "Casey whiffed for a third strike, and the crowd started chanting, 'You suck, Casey.'" Well, just a brief look through this book will remind you that they can't all be gems. It's easy to forget that the highly quotable Oscar Wilde also once uttered, "Whew, somebody light a match." Or how about one of Aesop's edited lines from the fables? "Hey, who's the babe with the knockers?" So don't forget, Bartlett's book of less than memorable quotations. Pick one up today.
And now, here are some suggestions for your late night viewing pleasure. At 12:30, watch NBC's Contractual Obligation Tony Danza Christmas Special. At 1 o'clock, ESPN presents Great Moments in English Soccer Violence. Tonight, Manchester United fans versus the Italian police. And at 2 o'clock on CBS, it's Rescue 844, the tragedies of nearsighted people who misdial during emergencies. Stay up late and watch more TV.
Hello?
Hi, hon. This is your mother.
I hope I'm not bothering you. I just had some news I thought you'd want to hear.
Yeah, hi, Mom. Yeah, what's the news?
Well, you remember the Hendersons who used to live down the street from us?
No.
Oh, sure you do. The Hendersons. They lived in the blue house. Mrs. Henderson had that skin condition.
No, I don't recall a Henderson family.
Oh, sure you do. They lived there just before the McBrides.
Oh, well, see, I must have been about 4 years old then.
Well, I thought you'd remember. Well, you must remember the little Henderson boy, Kyle. He was about your age.
No, I don't remember a Kyle.
Sure you do. He was always picking his nose.
No, I think I'd remember that. Anyway, what about the Hendersons?
Well, do you remember their nephew who would come and visit every summer?
No?
Oh, he was a little older than you. Blonde hair, named Todd.
Nope. What about him, Mom?
Well, he died.
He died?
Yes, just a couple of days ago.
Well, that's terrible.
Isn't it, though? Mrs. Lewis told me.
Well, that's really sad.
He sold meat, you know.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, not door to door. He had a shop.
Oh, really?
I guess Tom Selleck came in once. He didn't buy anything, though.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Mrs. Lewis still stays in touch with them. She finally sold that old Buick of hers, you know.
Oh. Had Kyle been sick?
You mean Todd?
Right, Todd.
Well, Mrs. Lewis didn't say.
Oh.
All she said was that he was hit by a bus.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry to have to call with such bad news, dear.
No, that's okay.
I just thought you'd want to know.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Okay, then. Bye now.
Bye, Mom.
Good evening and welcome to the John Report. I'm John, here's my report. Fred Meyer has hired 5 women to play Santa Claus this Christmas season, and in a surprise move, Nordstrom has hired 5 smelly old fat guys to work the Clinique counter. Well, a tax increase in Federal Way has brought surprisingly few complaints from its citizens. When asked why, a local resident raised his arms expansively and said, "You just can't put a price tag on this quality of life." Well, the director of MIT says Nintendo's entertainment games will soon become the primary channel through which children acquire knowledge. He also said that in the future, everyone will bow down and worship him. A Seattle Times poll has voted Cairo's John Carlson one of the most annoying people of the year. I have no joke here. I just wanted to say that John Carlson has been voted one of the most annoying people of the year. A Tacoma firm, no, that's okay, that's okay. A Tacoma firm has introduced an American-style supermarket in Russia. The store comes complete with broken shopping carts and a pimply-faced night manager named Roger. King County has hired an artist to show people how to make wrapping paper from newspapers. The artist said the trick to making a really nice-looking package is to always make sure that Emmett Watson's picture is on the inside. Well, federal spotted owl rulings have disrupted the expansion of the White Pass ski area. According to the rulings, no more building can occur until the owls are given their own chairlifts and rope tows. Finally, 4 Seattle area movie theaters are now offering crying rooms for infants. A crying room for adults is being considered for the Kingdome. This has been the John Report. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
And now, here are some suggestions for your late-night viewing pleasure. At 12:30, CBS presents The Circus of the Bitter Washed-Up Stars. At 1 o'clock on ABC, it's America's Funniest Birthmarks. And at 2 o'clock on Showtime, Kevin Costner stars in My Ever-Changing Accent. Stay up late and watch more TV.
Okay, well, that's it for Almost Live this week. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas and make sure you mark down on your calendar New Year's Eve, 11:30 to 12:30. We'll be here live, entirely live in Studio B, ringing in the new year with you. I want you to watch. Please join the party with us. We'll see you on New Year.
Promotional consideration for Almost Live provided by Pizzeria Pagliacci, featuring traditional and gourmet pizza by the slice. Pizzeria Pagliacci, rated Seattle's best pizza.